Listen to this. That sound is not just pastry. That is centuries of history. Today, we're making samsa, one of the most legendary street food of Central Asia. A flaky, juicy meat pie baked in blazing hot ovens across Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and beyond. But here's where things get interesting. Some historians connect samsa to the ancient Persian word sambosak. Others believe traders carried early versions of these meat pies along the Silk Road more than 1,000 years ago. And if you travel from Samarkand to Bukhara, from Almaty to Kazan, everyone says our samsa is the real one. Some make it with lamb, some with beef, some with pumpkin, some use yeast dough. Others swear puff pastry is the only correct way. So tell me in the comments, what kind of samsa do you eat where you live? And today, we're making a crispy puff pastry version, completely from scratch, baked in Kazan. Because nomads didn't need Michelin stars. They just need fire, meat, and dough. Let's go to the kitchen. Flour, water, salt, butter, lamb, onions, salt, black pepper, cumin, eggs, and sesame seeds. First, the dough. Flour, salt, because good samsa is all about layers. We're making a simple dough first. Knead until smooth. Almost first try. Now, here's the magic. Roll it thin. Spread the butter all over it. Then roll it into a long log. This technique creates those beautiful flaky layers when baked. Traditionally, samsa meat is chopped by hand, not ground. Now, let's make the filling, because once the meat cooks slowly inside the pastry, it stays juicy. Do the same with onions. Add salt, black pepper, and of course, cumin. And honestly, cumin what makes your kitchen smells like a Silk Road caravan just arrived. Mix everything together. And while our dough rests, let's talk about how samsa travels half of the planet. For centuries, Central Asia sat on the crossroad of civilizations. The Silk Road connected China, Persia, the Middle East, and Europe. Merchants traveled for months through deserts and mountains. And portable food mattered a lot. Samsa became popular because it was filling, easy to carry, and easy to bake in a tandoor ovens. In many cities, vendors would slap samsa directly onto the hot walls of clay ovens, similar to how naan is baked. And the smell? Imagine walking through the ancient market after weeks in the desert and suddenly smelling sizzling lamb, onions, and pastry. You would probably buy 6, maybe 12. And over time, every region adapted it. In some places, samsa became triangular, elsewhere square. Some versions are tiny snacks. Others are basically eatable dumbbells. And today, we're continuing that tradition in our own kitchen. Now, the fun part. Slice the dough and roll into pieces. Flatten each piece carefully so the layers stay visible. Roll them into circles. Add filling in the center. Now fold into triangles. And if your samsa leaks juice, congratulations. That means you probably overfilled it like everyone else does. Now here comes the traditional Kazan style trick. Instead of baking these on a tray, we're cooking them inside a Kazan. And to make them stick to the walls, we glaze the bottoms with egg whites. This helps the samsa hold onto the hot Kazan walls while cooking. Now, carefully press them onto the inside walls of the Kazan. Cover with lid. The heat slowly cooks the meat inside while the pastry begins turning beautifully golden. But we're not done yet. For the final step, we flip samsa upside down and fire for another 10 minutes. And honestly, this is probably one of the coolest ways to cook pastry ever invented. Samsa isn't just food. It's everyday life across Central Asia. People eat it for breakfast, on the street, at the bazaars, during travel, and with tea almost everywhere. In many places, the best samsa shops specialize in only one thing. That's it. No burgers, no sushi, no avocado toasts, just samsa. And honestly, that confidence deserves respect. Some traditional tandoor samsa are cooked at temperatures so high that outside becomes incredibly crisp, while the inside stays juicy. And regional versions can include lamb, beef, chicken, pumpkin, potatoes, herbs, and even sweet fillings. So again, which version would you try first? Classic meat, pumpkin, or a giant bazaar-style samsa? Tell me in the comments. And now it's finally time. Look at this. The layers, the juice, that crispy crust. Oh wow! This is insane. The pastry is buttery and flaky. The meat is juicy. And the cumin hits right at the end. This tastes like something that survived empires. Honestly, if I lived near a real Central Asian samsa bakery, my financial future could be in danger. And the best part, it's simple food. No complicated techniques, no fancy ingredients, just dough, meat, fire, and history. Thank you for watching High Story Cooking Classes. Today, we made Samsa, the legendary Silk Road pastry that traveled across Central Asia and became a street food icon. If you enjoyed that episode, like, subscribe, and tell me what dish we should explore next. And in the next episode, we're going even deeper into nomadic cooking traditions. Because next time, we're making nomadic dessert. See you next time.